Hi everyone, welcome to this video where we're going to rank the Radiohead studio albums in order.
From best to Pablo Honey.
We're going to go through the Radiohead studio albums in chronological order, and for each one we're going to decide where it should be on the list by comparing to the ones that we've already placed on the list. And at the end of it, we'll have two separate lists and we will fight to the death over
The
which
good
one
list and the bad list.
No, definitely not. Okay, so we start with their first album, Pablo Honey, and then we compare their second album, The Bends, to Pablo Honey. Is it better or is it worse?
I think it's safe to say that the band is better than Pablo Honey.
Yeah, I mean, I would agree. Much more developed sound.
Yeah, you don't have to elaborate. Let's go. Okay, computer.
Let's go.
The easy.
Okay.
Let's get the easy stuff out of the way.
Okay, so OK Computer.
Yeah.
Third album.
Yeah.
Is it better than Pablo Honey?
Better.
Is it better than The Bends?
Better than the bands.
Okay.
The best 90s guitar Radiohead album. I think this is not controversial. So,
Yeah, definitely like an evolved version of The Bends, essentially. Yeah. Okay.
Good. We
Cool.
agree. Next.
Nice. Next. What do we have? We have
New Millennium, Kid A.
Yeah, the switch of sound.
Yeah. This is where old Radiohead fans abandon Radiohead.
Yes, the OGs go. The new hipsters come in.
So first difficult question. I mean, the easy question is better than Pablo Honey.
I think it's better than Honey.
Everything's better than Pablo Honey. Let's not do this again.
Let's not kid ourselves.
Yeah. Benz?
Yes.
Yes. Better than the Benz.
Yeah.
Okay, computer?
Okay, Computer. This is where it becomes tricky because, probably OK Computer is up there in terms of guitar Radiohead, some of the best songs that they've written, probably. But then Kid A has that cultural impact. And if you like more than just guitar music, it's super interesting.
Yeah, I mean, in terms of songs, Okay Computer has the better songs, let's say, because they're actually more
Like pop
structured,
songs, rock
like,
songs, whatever. Yeah.
At the same time, because this is our list,
Yeah.
I think my main criterion will be like, what do I want to sit down and listen to in its entirety? And right now, I generally enjoy listening more to Kid A than to OK Computer.
You think it's more of developed sound or more interesting sounds?
I think it's more interesting, and also I think, with few exceptions, that it's kind of more layered and more mellow, and in a way I like that vibe more than the more angsty OK Computer era sound.
Yeah.
Like, I still like so many songs on OK Computer, but overall I'd rather listen to Kid A. So that's why I'm gonna go with Kid A, OK Computer.
Okay. So for me, it's a little bit more difficult because I think there are some weak links on Kid A. So motion picture soundtrack.
If you say How to Disappear Completely,
Okay, I won't say that. I won't say it. I mean,
like, How to Disappear Completely is the best song.
No, so motion picture soundtrack is one. Again, this is like, would I sit down and listen to it regularly kind of thing? And Three Fingers. And for me, How to Disappear Completely as well. I don't tend to go back
Because
to
I'm a
these.
moron, yes. But
Oh, me? Okay, I see. Whereas
No,
tracks like Everything in its Right Place,
yeah,
the national anthem for me, which you don't like too much.
I don't really like National Anthem.
Optimistic in Limbo, all of these tracks are incredible. But then OK Computer has, Paranoid Android, probably my favorite song by them still. And just other very strong tracks on that album generally.
Yeah, but I mean, you're pointing out that, I kind of don't like motion picture soundtrack and Three Fingers and whatever. But at the same time, why? Do you enjoy listening to Fitter Happier?
Yeah, but that's just...
Do you really enjoy electioneering? Especially...
I do.
Really? Yeah, okay.
I actually do. Yeah, I think that there's also something about OK Computer, which is that era just before the turn of the millennium, where like everything was like, oh, we're going to be so futuristic and, space and all that. Like, it really captures that sound so well. That vibe of that era, that, I feel like there's, it's almost like a time capsule in a way.
So for you,
things they're
OK
talking
Computer
about
is
as well.
futuristic in a sense.
Yeah, and like the things they're talking about on the album, right?
Yeah,
Like,
but it's very dark.
It's dark, it's dystopic.
Yeah.
But like, it really symbolizes that time of like thinking about the future and everything. Everyone's gonna, be flying around and like fit happier. Exactly, like we're gonna be having pills and whatever.
Well, yeah. What I want to say is that I agree that like Three Fingers by itself probably doesn't stand, but at the same time, the sequencing in Kid A and the way the songs follow each other for me works perfectly. Whereas OK
Your journey.
Computer, OK Computer, it still has very nice sequencing, but I see it more as a collection of like nice guitar,
that's
Radiohead
fair.
songs.
That's fair.
And also, I think that because of the shock, obviously, the shock that I had the first time I listened to Kid A, I'm just I want to relive that moment. So, that's
fair.
So, what's going to happen with you, though?
Yeah, exactly. I think I'm going to probably leave Kid A just one step before OK Computer. I think, I'm going to do that.
It's happening.
Yeah.
Okay.
The first schism.
And now the big schism is going to happen, though. You know that.
Let's go.
Yeah, Amnesiac.
Amnesiac.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you want to go first?
Yeah, like I'm afraid that I'm not a big fan of Amnesiac. Amnesiac probably is like the old LeBron James Cavaliers. That was a basketball reference.
Go on, explain the reference.
It feels like Amnesiac has Pyramid Song, which is one of the best Radiohead songs.
Yeah.
And then the rest of the bench is kind of not league ready. Like they are there, but like if we're talking about filler, I think this is the Radiohead album that it lacks cohesion for me, and has a lot of tracks that I'm like, nah. Like okay, Bulk Pool.
Okay.
I personally dislike Life in a Glass House. I don't like Dollars and Cents. And it just feels to me like it's kind of the not as exciting brother of Kid A that just for some reason happens to have Pyramid Song and You and Whose Army, which I really, really enjoy.
It's a good tune.
So because of that, I enjoy it. I would say I enjoyed it slightly more than the Bends, just because the sound of the Bends feels very ancient to me at this point.
Right?
Yeah. Although I'm more ancient than the Bends.
Yeah.
But it's going to be below OK Computer.
Okay, so gotcha. Yeah, I think for me the story is very different. Pyramid Song is for sure the best. It's one of the best songs that they've ever released. I agree with that. But there's some other very strong contenders like Knives Out for me. Morning Bell, Amnesiac, I'm a big fan of.
I prefer the other one.
You prefer Morning? Yeah, okay. But it's still very evil. I actually really like Dollars and Cents. Dollars and Cents has a very it's just that soundscape that they create in that song.
How can you like Dollars and Cents and not like How to Disappear Completely?
Why? What's the relation?
You're sick.
Why?
You are mentally sick.
They're nothing like each other. Nothing like each other. I think it's the emotional investment. Yeah, like Pyramid Song has an emotional investment every time you listen to it. It's very heavy, but there's a lot in that song that kind of keeps it interesting. Whereas tracks like How to Disappear Completely,
there's not a lot happening in How to Disappear Completely.
But it's just more like it's more about the ambience and the emotional, like, oh, I'm suffering so much, and like I don't.
Okay.
That doesn't affect me all the time. I don't want to keep going into that mood. Like, I'm not always in the mood to listen to that kind of track. Whereas like Dollars and Cents, it's a groove. I might be wrong. There's a groove. Knives Out, there's Knives Out there's kind of got that evil vibe. I don't know, like there's interesting guitar as well. Like I really like interesting guitar. I play guitar.
So
all of these things mean that right now it is above everything else. Yes.
So Bulk Pool here. And then Paranoid Android.
No, you got to take Paranoid. He takes Bulk Pool as well. He doesn't take Pyramid Song.
We're writing albums, not songs. This is my...
Exactly.
No, I'm joking. Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. I think OK Computer is great. So there's some naivete and some angst on there, which is a bit frustrating when you get a bit older. It's a bit like meh. Whereas Amnesiac, they're experimenting, and maybe according to you and other people, it might not have like all landed. But like I just feel like they're trying to do something interesting, and there's an interesting kind of vibe and
but the
soundscape.
Angst is still there, by the way. You're saying that there's angst, like lyrically, there's angst in OK Computer, and the angst is there, and it's magnified in Amnesiac.
I don't mean lyrically.
So you basically... Okay, that I agree.
Yeah, guitar.
Like, the guitar-y, guitar-y open chords and shit, that doesn't happen in Amnesiac anymore. That's good. That's good. I approve.
Yeah.
So, next one is kind of important for me because this is the first Radiohead album that I listened to when it came out.
Oh, okay.
And it was kind of how I got into Radiohead because before that, I'd listened to Creep and I thought it sucked.
Oh, okay.
And I thought like Radiohead were similar to Nickelback.
Go back.
It was the same era. Like I was in the YMCA, and we had someone had made a mixtape, and it had "Smells Like Teen Spirit." I know this is 2003, but "Smells Like Teen Spirit," and we would wake up every day and listen to "Smells Like Teen Spirit." It would be the wake up song. Creep, Nickelback. What is the name of the Nickelback song? Never man. How you remind me?
I remember that's it.
And Bullet with Butterfly Wings. And that's why I thought Radiohead was lame.
I mean, that makes sense paired with those other things.
And then I read that Massive Attack, who I thought was good, the best, listened to Hail to the Thief and said, this is the best. And I said, if Massive Attack think that Hail to the Thief is the best, then maybe I should listen to those guys. And I listened to 2+2, and my tiny brain went, what the fuck was that? Was that good? Or was that like goats? And then the second time I was like, no, that was probably good.
That was good.
And then the third time I was like, oh, this was very good. So I just love Hail to the Thief. I know that Hail to the Thief is probably the album that Radiohead have thought about the least. They just went in, they recorded it, and then half of it they just kind of regretted recording the way they recorded.
Was it 3 weeks or something?
It was, yes, I'm like really fast. I think they went to LA to be outside their comfort zone. Most of it was done live and fast and not thinking and whatever. And it does everything that Radiohead do. Like if you've never listened to Radiohead before and you want to get into Radiohead, this is a very good showcase of.
Feels like a bit of a greatest hits.
Yeah.
Like up to that point anyway.
Yeah. Like you want guitars because people were bitching that, Radiohead don't play guitars. Here's guitars. Do you want ambient stuff? Here's ambient stuff. Do you want evil stuff, electronic stuff?
Yeah.
Everything is there.
Yeah. But still, it somehow feels cohesive. Like,
no.
Yeah, I think so.
I'm not sure if it feels very cohesive, but I still enjoy it.
I think it feels pretty cohesive.
It's pretty long as well.
It's pretty long, yeah.
And it's got like amazing things. Like I love There obviously and 2+2, but then I like Sail to the Moon, Where I End and You Begin.
Yeah.
And
they really start using pianos a lot.
Yeah, like, I think that's and this is like close also to the Eraser, which is a lot of piano. So it's kind of that era. Yeah. So for me, I'm obviously gonna have an amazing time listening to Hail to the Thief. So it's gonna be like number one at this point. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Above Kid A?
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay. Well, I'm gonna agree with you. I think it's my favorite album. Like the songs are very strong. Like you said, there's so much variety. It's a real showcase of what they do. Just some real bangers on there, and I can just keep listening to everything essentially. Like there's not too much of this, slow, emotional songs where I have to like.
I mean, there is some.
Not really though. Like it doesn't feel the same as a Fake Plastic Trees or you can just very
okay. But there's I Will, which is kind of like
no, but that's beautiful. That's just like that's not like emotionally, super.
I don't know. I find I Will very very like emotionally very heavy. I just can't take it. Yeah.
Oh, interesting.
Because maybe it's the wailing in the background. It's one of those Radiohead songs that they are good, but I just can't get into it.
Oh, interesting. Well, okay. Top of both lists at the moment.
The big one.
I guess the big one. In Rainbows.
The one that ruined the music industry.
The Rainbows.
Yeah. I mean, if Hail to the Thief was special for me, In Rainbows is even more special because at that point I had become a Radiohead fan and I'd listened to everything else. So I was familiar with, at this point, Kid A and Amnesiac and OK Computer and everything. So when In Rainbows came out, and I don't remember if you remember how it came out.
Yeah.
Like no announcement.
Yep.
Like a week or a day before it was
I
like,
think it was a week. Yeah. Yeah.
there's an album, that's it, just go download it.
Yeah. Just
It was
pay
like-
what you want, do whatever you want. Yeah.
Yeah.
Amazing. Like completely disrupted the current thinking at the time, right?
And at that point, I was like actively also playing music, playing guitar, and I was like into that kind of scene, definitely. So In Rainbows is probably the album that I enjoy listening to the most. And I think the songs are amazing. It has the best songwriting. It is probably at that point the album that is the least artsy-fartsy. It's
Yeah.
like Radiohead, and mostly it feels like Radiohead are going to prove to you that they can write very, very good quality pop
songs.
rock, pop alternative,
Yeah.
and they do their guitar stuff and a bit of more,
More ambient, more kind of like laid back. Not just like riffs, but they also do some soundscape type things.
yeah. I
with
think it's
mood.
that the production now starts becoming not
Yeah.
as dense as the production of the previous albums, but the sounds are very eclectic in that sense. I think like the atmosphere for me that Nude creates, and especially All I Need, this is for me amazing. This is what I want from Radiohead.
So where does it go?
The top,
The top.
number one. Yeah,
Wow.
yeah,
So everything they're releasing is going higher and higher.
yes. What about you though?
Yeah. This was actually the first Radiohead album that I kind of like saw come out,
Yeah,
because I had gone into them like 2005 probably,
Mm-hmm.
2006. I enjoyed the album. I still enjoy the album. Like you said, it's kind of straightforward. Like there's guitars and songs, and you know it's kind of easy to listen to. Probably a couple of weak links for me, like Videotape. Videotape
okay.
was very, very nice on tour when they played it before
Yeah.
they released it, and then they kind of tried to turn it into this like strange, slightly arty thing, which didn't really work for me.
by the way, Down is the New Up was very good.
Down is the
on,
New Up
on
was very
tour,
good.
and I'm not really happy with the. And I don't know if this is the reason why they didn't put it on the album, but
I still enjoy that song. You're probably right. It's probably better live, but and then what I said, Videotape and House of Cards probably is another one. Which
okay.
it's just a bit
I grew
bland.
to love House of Cards. but-
yeah, I mean it's interesting in some ways. Like some nice things going on with like emo guitar and falsetto vocals, I think. But
It's that coin trick.
yeah, coin trick, yeah.
The coin trick.
Yeah, but then like I wouldn't sit down and listen to that on repeat. It's a bit bland for me. The melodies,
you agree with
the
Lily Allen?
harmonies. What?
What's that show called that they do in the end of the year with Jimmy
Big Fat
Carr or
Quiz of the
whatever?
Year.
Huh?
Big Fat Quiz of the Year.
Probably.
Yeah.
And then Tom York appears and says, "Oh, we released an album this year. What was very special about it?"
Oh, really?
And Lily Allen says, "Definitely not the music."
Oh,
Which is like, please, please.
oh wow! I need to watch that clip.
Yeah.
I haven't seen it.
Now you'd be a big Lily Allen fan.
Yeah, it's a bit bland.
So where does it go?
Okay, where does it go?
Hail to the Thief. Amnesiac.
Yeah. Still going down. Then I had OK Computer, right? Let me think about this. Yeah, it goes below OK Computer. It's Kid A. I think they're pretty equal. Like if I want some more, upbeat guitar stuff, kind of more standards, then I'll go In Rainbows. Otherwise, I'll listen to Kid A because it feels a bit more special, a bit more arty. On an average day, I'll probably listen to Kid A a little bit more. So I'm gonna put it one below.
So
One
it's
below Kid A.
Palk Pool. 3 fingers. Arpeggi. If there is a
exactly it.
way in YouTube to like split the video in half and watch only this part of the video, like this is the time to do it. You can put another window there. When we are very big and we have sponsors and ads, we can retroactively place an ad over this part.
That's a good idea. That's a good idea.
So
Okay.
like and subscribe to make this happen.
Hey everyone, quick pause. I just wanted to let you know that we've started a new Discord community where we talk about Radiohead, audio gear, music production, and you're all welcome to join us. The link is in the description. So, see you there. Now back to the video.
The Limbs.
The King of the Limbs.
The King of the Limbs.
Well, when that came out, we had actually met.
True.
Wow.
We were living together.
Wow.
Yeah, at that point. That's true.
That was an interesting.
That was an interesting time
Yeah.
with like the conspiracy theories.
Yeah.
Remember that?
Yeah. I fell for it.
I fell for it. I believe it. I believe it 100%.
Which proves that, okay, for those of you who don't know, the conspiracy theory was that the King of Limbs was the first in a series of multiple albums that Radiohead would release, which Radiohead were secretly hinting to.
Hinting at, yeah.
And the most obvious proof is that the end of Separator
Yeah.
is, if you think this is over, then you're wrong.
You're wrong.
Completely out of context. But it turned out to be complete bullshit.
Yeah, that was a shame. It would have been nice if I had like 3-4 albums.
I think that's proof that people were not happy with the album. Like, they wanted more. They felt it was
Yeah.
it was short. It
was
was like
short.
8 tracks.
Yeah, yeah.
It was a bit. The beginning was jarring. The whole percussion loops, kind of weird
Yeah.
beats, and then the second half slightly abandons that and becomes this more kind of folksy Codex give up the ghost.
Almost like ballady things 3 in a row, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like, I've got very good memories of that era, and I really like Bloom and I really like Pharaoh.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I don't really listen to King of Limbs anymore.
I would say I listened to like half of it. So the first half, first 5 songs, I really enjoy. I think they're very strong. Morning Mr.
Yeah.
Magpie, Little by Little.
Okay.
Those kind of slightly, Little by Little kind of evil guitar-y stuff. And Morning
Yeah,
Mr.
Kilton
Magpie has,
beats and yeah.
Yeah. And then it gets to the second half with those 3 songs, like it's so jarring. They're so like not cohesive with the first half. If they had kept it short but kind of kept that consistent, I think it would be a super good album.
I definitely like the vibe of Bloom. Like, it almost feels Latin,
Yep.
but then at the same time, like, the horns and all of that make it very expansive.
Yeah.
And the beat, just the drup, 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 drup,
Yeah.
drup, drup.
That to me is like very Björky. Like that
Could
whole
be.
song is
Could be,
very
yeah.
Björky.
Yeah,
And
you're
the
right.
horns come in.
So, yeah, because of that, I'm just going to say that for me, in terms of enjoyment, it's better than Pablo Honey.
It's better than the Bends.
It's better than the bands. And the big question is it better than Amnesiac? And I'm going to say, just because of the very, 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 very bad time I have sitting through Pool. And
Just from that.
no, and just generally, like, the vibes I get from Amnesiac, they're so oppressing and they're so evil. And I have to sit through Dollars and Cents, and I'm kind of bored if I might be wrong, because it starts okay, but then like like the kind of mechanic crowd rocky thing. Nah. So I'm gonna say that I'm really sorry to Pyramid Song, but I'd rather listen to the King of Limbs.
Wow.
I told you, man, it's a shame for the Pyramid Song and You Know Whose Army.
I mean, like Separators got to be one of the worst Radiohead songs of all time. Like,
Pool.
no, it's much worse.
No.
It's much
Like,
worse
that's
than
it.
Pool.
No. Pool is torture.
No. No. Like it's like, okay, we made these super complex beats and now we've run out of ideas. Let's just bang out some chords and just sing some random melodies which don't do anything. Okay, last 3 tracks.
Nah,
boom.
it's
Let's go.
it's not
That's
that
the
bad.
end of the King of Limbs
okay.
for me. Like it's so uninspired. There's no intention behind the songs. Like they're just.
So where does it sit?
So it's better than the Bends because there's experimentation. It's got an interesting sound in the first half at least. And I've got In Rainbows. It can't be In Rainbows either.
Yeah, come on.
It can't. Yeah, it's got some very strong tracks, but I think In Rainbows as a whole, it's got more strong tracks. So
Thank you.
yeah, that's where I place it.
That is
Very interesting album.
yeah.
Quite dark.
Dark and
in a
adult.
way. Dark, yeah. Dark and adult.
And I guess by the time it came out, we were also more dark and adult.
Yes.
So it hit hard.
Yeah, that's probably true. It was pretty intense. I would say, so carrying on from this thing of like, oh yeah, they just banged out some chords and filled the album. I do feel that with some of a Mouche Pool. I feel like they kind of jammed. They had some ideas, and they were like, okay, yeah, like we'll just kind of put some bookends of some interesting effects, and yeah, there you go. There's a song. Like there's not too much development in some of the songs, at least. It just kind of like here's a riff and blah blah blah. Like we're just kind of singing it. No, I actually like Full Stop. I actually like Full Stop.
I mean, I really like Daydreaming.
Yeah, Daydreaming's
and I definitely like the
song.
dark orchestral vibes. Sometimes it just feels that Radiohead are missing from that album. That it's kind of an album that is more of the new stuff that York and Greenwood were doing. I mean, probably that's false, but it just feels to me that this is more of that cinema. Yeah, because it has that cinematic quality of Greenwood's music.
Okay.
And then at the same time, it has this kind of thing that York seems to do a lot, like basically looping songs with a looper and a guitar. And you can see like definitely the present tense is made that way. It evolves into something, big, but it feels like you were saying before, like with Separator and with Give Up the Ghost, that it's one of these solo York things that then became...
And they kind of embellished it, but essentially as like...
The Numbers is definitely one of these like York folk songs.
Yeah.
I mean, I think he said it was like kind of a Neil Young situation.
Okay. I mean, The Numbers are a weird one because like it kind of goes against everything I said. Like it is very repetitive and it's kind of like it doesn't really go anywhere. But at the same time, I find it interesting. Like the kind of soundscapes there with all the little piano things, little strings going on, especially when it builds to the end.
Yeah.
Like it does get really amazing. So yeah, I don't know. I guess
I like Tinker Tailor a lot. But still, it feels like this is a different Radiohead than the previous Radiohead. And to be honest with you, it's missing from this album, but I think better than the entirety of Moonshaped Pool is Spectre. I think that is like one of the best Radiohead songs that I have listened to.
And they didn't use it in the end.
No.
Yeah.
Assholes.
Yeah.
They used, what's his name? Sam Smith.
Sam Smith.
I mean, no offense to Sam Smith, but seriously, you've got a song that, first of all, is made by Radiohead, but also it screams of like Bond energy.
Yeah.
Evil Bond energy. And it's like, my conspiracy theory, I think I've told you that before, is if you watch, someone on YouTube has posted a video of the titles of Spectre with Radiohead Spectre.
Yeah.
And it just fits so well that my conspiracy theory is that they edited the titles, they built the titles on Spectre, and then they got rid of Spectre and replaced it with Sam Smith. It just feels like the Sam Smith song, it just doesn't really gel with the darkness.
Some of the cuts as well.
Yeah, I don't know if you've seen the titles.
No,
they have this because Spectre has this kind of octopus evil, and there's like this evil looming in the background, and you can see the tentacles and the eyes, and that is the Radiohead song. Whereas the Sam Smith is much chiller, much cleaner, much more polite. And
okay, I mean that could very well be right.
This is my Spectre run.
When did Sam Smith blow up? Did he blow up around then?
Maybe. And maybe obviously the song is much more marketable than the Radiohead one. But at the same time, it's Radiohead. Like, it's not some random artsy-fartsy band. It is
the biggest of the artsy
biggest.
Yeah.
It's not even a very alternative band. Like...
And maybe there was also something to do with negotiations and
I don't know. I know that Radiohead got really upset and they thought that they wasted their time to do that, and they wasted the recording time from a Moonshaped Pool, and they did all that for nothing. And I think that's why they just released it and for free on Spotify or whatever.
Okay, well, could be the case.
But anyway, back to
Moonshaped Pool. I think like generally it's decent. Like I think they kind of build like a soundscape. In a lot of the songs.
It's very cohesive.
Yeah, it feels very cohesive, definitely. Even though they kind of, change styles a lot as well, sort of in the album. But at the same time, it doesn't feel very memorable to me overall. Like, things can happen. You kind of enjoy them at the time, but then it doesn't really stick very much.
Just because of how hard it hits, and maybe because of, let's say, all of those memories I've said before with Hail to the Thief and In Rainbows. And somehow for me, it just can't compete. Maybe it's nostalgia.
Yeah.
So I would say that, yeah, it's obviously better than, Pablo Honey, the Bends. Then, again, I'm really sorry to Amnesiac, but... And then
Shame.
I would say that just because of how short and unfulfilled I think I feel with King of Limbs, I'm just going to say it sits above King of Limbs for me.
Okay. And that's where it stops.
Mm.
Okay. So for me, I think it's definitely better than Pablo Honey. Probably the Bends as well. I mean, the Bends does have a lot of bangers, but a Mouche Pool is just, it feels more mature, overall. But then it runs into King of Limbs. And again, like King of Limbs, those first 5 tracks are very strong. And there's just something about a Mouche Pool which nothing really stands out to me that much. I kind of enjoy a little bit when listening, but I don't know. There's nothing to make me kind of go back and binge these things. Like, it's almost like you're appreciating it for its art.
Yeah, but it's a more mature Radiohead. It's
Yeah.
not... I'm not really sure with... I think that probably it's now a matter of, again, nostalgia and age. Maybe if you'd listened to that 15 years ago, you would rank it better than
Or maybe
the King of Limbs.
Or maybe in 15 years where I understand where they're coming from. I mean, I don't know. Could be either one. Yeah, I don't know. There's just something about it. Like, it just, there's not that much replayability for me, essentially. So I'm going to have to, leave it there and leave it below King of Limbs.
Okay, so let's recap our 2 separate lists. From me, from worst to best, we've got Pablo Honey, The Bends, Amnesiac, The King of Limbs, The Moon-Shaped Pool, OK Computer, Kid A, Hail to the Thief, and In Rainbows.
And for me, it's Pablo Honey at the bottom, followed by The Bends, then a Moon-Shaped Pool, The King of Limbs, In Rainbows, Kid A, OK Computer, Amnesiac, and finally, the best of them all is Hail to the Thief.
So from this list, we can safely say that we, like, on average, the best album is Hail to the Thief.
Yeah, definitely.
And then following that, it's OK Computer and Kid A, kind of like a tie.
Yeah.
And then it's kind of probably In Rainbows.
And the rest.
Then, I mean, is that fair? I think it's fair.
Yeah, maybe. I think Amnesiac got shafted. Please, some of you tell me that you agree with me. Amnesiac is better than In Rainbows, for sure.
So, do you agree or disagree with us? And what's your list? Leave us a comment with your list, or leave us a comment that says how much our lists suck. And if you want more Radiohead content, go watch our Radiohead quizzes, which are right here in front of Berg. See you next time on Mixed Signals. Bye-bye.